here, all things spiritual. We're going to show the Mythical Creature Bible by Brenda, Rosen, Guide to Legendary Beings. We're going to do the next one in line. I'm just going through each one of them. This next one, never looked at the back of this. Mythical creatures that come from the land, sea, air, and beyond your wildest imagination. From the folk tales of ancient cultures to today, books and movies, accounts of fantastic mystical creatures have fascinated and terrified us. Okay, so that's what the back looks like. Can you even see that? Some cool illustrations. I have to kind of hold in an angle so that the glare doesn't construct your vision. Okay, classical sources. And this one is going to be Thesis slaying the MINOTAUR. There's a glare there. Now remember, this book is, I guess, her research, not my research, it's her research. So I'm just reading. Let's see, and this will go on to this next page, and this is the BASILISK, B-A-S-I-L-I-S-K. I cannot pronounce these words. Hold it. That. And then this other one is illustrated from Caxton's 1484 edition of Aesop's, A-E-S-O-P-S, Fables. Okay. So I will start reading on this one. And I showed you the pictures before I start reading, so then you have an idea of, you know, you see what we're talking about. I need to move this. And then I will show it again at the end. And get my magnifying glass here because the writing is very small. Classical sources. In ancient Greece and Rome, the boundaries between the spiritual and material worlds were less defined than they are today. The gods were like humans. Both were like animals and plants, and combinations and transformations between categories were considered commonplace. Can you imagine seeing all this stuff and just not thinking nothing about it? Thus, in various interconnected tales, Zeus, the king of the gods, transforms himself into a bull to abduct a human woman. A monstrous combination between bull and man called the MINOTAUR is imprisoned in a maze in Crete. And the semi-divine Greek hero Hercules strangles a giant bull that is ravaging the countryside as one of his 12 labors. Aristotle's legacy. The Greek philosopher Aristotle considered to be the first natural historian, devoted a large part of his scientific work to sorting out these categories. A meticulous observer, Aristotle described more than 500 animal species and arranged them into categories and hierarchies. He was the first to notice, for example, that dolphins gave birth to live young. For this reason, he correctly classified them with mammals like the beast of the field rather than with fish. Less careful observers, who often included mythological and fabulous animals in their zoology works, are nevertheless indebted to Aristotle for establishing a methodology for describing the natural world. Herodotus, that's Herodotus, accounts. Another early Greek noted for his observation was Herodotus. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but you get the idea. Often called the father of history. A tireless traveler, Herodotus visited all parts of Greece and Asia Minor, as well as Persia, Babylonia, Palestine, and Egypt, collecting information for his great work. The histories, in addition to his description of places and events, Herodotus includes information about the natural world, including accounts of many fabulous animals, some based on first-hand observation, such as the crocodiles he saw in the Nile, and others that were described to him, such as the phoenix of Heliopolis and the flying serpents of Arabia. Through Herodotus is sometimes criticized for mixing the incredible with the real. His method was to report faithfully what he had been told on his travels, allowing the reader to decide how much to believe. That's pretty much the same here. I'm reading what's in the book. It's up to you to decide if you believe it or not. Pliny's, P-L-I-N-Y-S, Pliny's contributions. Or in other words, contribute. Standing on the shoulders of these giants was one of the less careful observers of nature. The Roman natural philosopher Pliny had his great work, Naturalis Historia, is a massive encyclopedia of ancient knowledge. Drawings on the work of more than 100 previous writers, including Aristotle, Pliny's volumes are an entertaining blend of science, exaggeration, and fanciful stories. Despite, or perhaps because of this mix, Pliny's work became a standard source for classical knowledge about the natural world. Book 8 of Pliny's Encyclopedia, for example, is devoted to land animals, in addition to the crocodile, camel, and hippopotamus. Pliny's includes information about legendary animals such as the MINOTAUR, basilisk, and werewolf. Then it drops down to Aesop's Fables, A-E-S-O-P-S. I'll say Aesop's because I don't really know how to pronounce it correctly. Let me turn this around. Aesop's Fables, literally collections from Greece and Rome are also widely influenced sources of information about mythic creatures. Aesop, a Greek slave and storyteller who lived in the mid-6th century BCE, is credited with a collection of short folk tales about personified animals. William Caxton, who printed the first books in English, published a version of Aesop's fables in 1484. The first Chinese translation was made in 1625 after the tales were carried orally to China by a Belgian Jesuit missionary. Aesop's animal characteristics, including the industrious ant and the lazy grasshopper, the town mouse and the country mouse, and the wolf in the sheep's clothing, are known today throughout the world. Ovid's tales. The Metamorphoses, a complication of Roman and Greek mythology by the Latin poet Ovid, is among the most widely influenced classical works. Ovid's tales of transformation or metamorphosis include accounts of many fabulous creatures, including the transformation of gods and humans into spiders, bears, bulls, birds, wolves, and creatures. And that will conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Put my marker so I know what the next one is going to be. Oh, I was going to show you again another close-up. So after, because I've done read it again, so that way it'll be fresh in your mind. And this one was Thesis Land the Minotaur. Put it where it's there, not an angle. And then this one was Basilisk, B-A-S-I-L-I-S-K. And then the last one was illustration from Caxton's 1484 edition of Aesop's Fables. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.